Hello, hello, glorious souls. Welcome to your Soul Service Astrology update for the 18th of July, 2022. Hi, I'm Kel. I'm a 13-sign sidereal astrologer. What does that mean? That means basically the astrology that you will hear from me will match the astronomy that you can see in the sky. Yes, it is different to modern Western tropical astrology. Their positions of the planets do not correlate with the star constellations that we commonly associate within our sky. And that's because they don't take account of the wobble of the Earth's axis, which is precession, and nor do they account for the fact that all the constellations are a different size. So if you would like your astrology to match what you can see in the sky, then I welcome you to the true sidereal astrology movement and soul service astrology. What does that mean? Soul service astrology is my creation, and it is using 13-sign sidereal astrology as a tool, as an instrument for us to get deeper into connection with ourselves as mystical beings, for us to raise consciousness so that we can live a peaceful, blissful life. We can create the things that we want to create. So really, I would like to see soul service astrology as a practice and a movement to allow ourselves to become both mystical, divine, and fully human. So without further ado, let's check out what is going on in the skies for the week of the 18th of July. This week is a big week. Last week was a little bit quieter, give us a reprieve, quieter with the full moon in Sagittarius conjunct Pluto. Okay, so beginning the week, we have Venus moving into Gemini. So this presents us the opportunity to shift how our regenerative capacity and how our connective capacity may desire to work. So Venus was moving through Taurus. So what does it mean when I say regenerative capacity? Well, really, that's our ability to feel into our body. What do we need? What do we want to be doing with our days, with our body? What nurturing do we need? What's most important to us? Who is most important to us? Who do we want to be connecting with? So there's the connector that comes in. Now, when I say regeneration, there might be parts of you that need to rot to be able to regenerate. Now, we've just had the full moon conjunct Pluto last week. So that was a good opportunity to shed things, release things, let things go, rot things that aren't serving us, so that we can now take our regenerative capacities into the sign of Gemini. Gemini is really where the law of polarity exists. This is something new for me that has dropped in, where we're looking at the opposites within ourself. So Venus is very much about our body and our self, because it's a personal planet, so it's an inner planet. So with Venus in Gemini, it's a great opportunity to look at those polarities within yourself, as we've been doing over Gemini season, which is going to be coming to an end in the next couple of weeks, and really start to see that there's a dynamic union between them, that there might be aspects of both sides of the polarity that need to be regenerated, and there might be connections that need to be remade, that maybe you've been keeping two parts of yourself really locked away rather than them coming into connection and a union and working together. Now, typically in Gemini, the mind likes to separate and organize things. I'm asking you to be a little bit more messy. Be like Venus, be like the creator, and be a bit messy, and allow these polar parts of yourself to connect. Allow your mind to maybe feel uneasy about these things coming together. Now, if you had been playing along sort of with the Gemini season, following me along with the Gemini season, this shouldn't feel too difficult for you. If this is new for you, then it might feel like a shock. Oh, I've got to start to bring disparate parts of myself back into a union. And with Venus, there's this embodiment element. So it might involve some, like your body needing to do something. Maybe you've been a bit sedentary and you know you need to move and you like movement, but you've just got to find the meeting point of where they like to be. Maybe the mind has been overactive and you've been doing too much and you need to calm the mind down and do a little bit less so you can hear the polar in there. All right, so that's Venus moving into Gemini. The other aspect that is exact today is the 18th of July, is Pluto is opposite the Sun and Mercury in Cancer. So we've been journeying with Pluto for a long time in Sagittarius. It's behaving like a destructive liberator. So for us collectively, this is a call for us to liberate ourselves from beliefs that are not serving us, are not serving us for our expansion into our vastness, are not serving us for our expansion into joy and wonderment and curiosity. With Pluto retrograde, we could be having a look at what does it really mean for you to sink into joy, wonderment, and curiosity? What beliefs how am I stopping myself from that childlike joy and wonder that I used to have as a kid, right? So how can you start to shift your thoughts and beliefs? They're just thoughts and beliefs. I know it can have deep programming to bring more joy and wonderment into your life. Now, opposite the Sun and Mercury in Cancer, we've got creative energy, the Sun, our expression, the Sun, and then we've got Mercury, the mind, and how we communicate in Cancer. So it's probably going to be a little bit slower. Perhaps you might like to express yourself and think about things, create things a little bit more watery sort of ways. Now, with this destructive element opposite, you might be really wanting to burn things away. So maybe you're creating something and you think it's garbage and you would like to burn it. Don't. You have to find this dynamic union. So maybe there are beliefs that you think you need to burn away, but maybe they're beliefs that might need to have a shift or a change, or might just need to ebb and flow. So maybe it's not complete annihilation. Maybe it's union and fusion with the creator and with your intellect. So this is where your creator and your intellect get to play, but in a much more watery, fluid way. And how can that fill you up to serve your needs? So that's Monday. Let's move on to Tuesday. Tuesday the 19th, Chiron stations retrograde. So we have Pluto retrograde, we have Saturn retrograde, we have Neptune retrograde, and now we have Chiron. So we're in the season of all the outer planets starting to appear like they're moving backwards. Now, there has been a lot of Pisces energy this year, and that energy is going to continue because Neptune's going to stay there for some time, and Jupiter is there too, and Jupiter's going to go backwards soon. But Chiron's been in Pisces for some time as well. And I feel like with where also our age is located in Pisces, we really are being called to step into our mystical intelligence in a very reconnected, interconnected, interwedded way, that we aren't just humans, that we are also mystical and divine. And there is that real call for us to come back into that knowledge, which is why I'm presenting soul service astrology to you. It is a tool to come back into your mystical intelligence. And there's a lot to unpack in the idea of mystical intelligence. But with Chiron going backwards, this is our wounded healer behaving in a really mystical sense. It's allowing you to have a bit of a review. What have you healed over the last 12 months? What has really helped and supported you to do that? So we're looking at our devotion to consciousness, to God, to spirit, to the divine. And perhaps we're starting to sink a little bit deeper into our intuitive abilities. Perhaps we're starting to embrace ourselves as intuitive, this part of the healing journey, we get on this particular point of the spiral, we're going to look at it from a little bit higher up and observe what we have done. Maybe we haven't reached an endpoint. Maybe we're never going to reach an endpoint, but it's allowing ourselves to view our healing journey in a very mystical sense, from perhaps a different part of our spiral. And there could be some information there for you as Chiron is journeying backwards. During this time, I would really encourage you to lean back on your practices that can support your emotional intelligence and can support your nervous system and can support your intuitive intelligence. So meditation, yoga, chanting bundled into yoga, pranayama bundled into yoga, walking in nature, getting into water, because there's a lot of water energy this week, getting into water, getting into nature, allowing yourself to find and seek stillness and peace, and taking a moment. So calming the mind down. With Mercury moving into Cancer and being in Cancer, there's a real opportunity to calm the mind, to slow and seek space and peace for yourself and for your healing. So that happens on Tuesday. I'm going to skip Wednesday and move straight on to Thursday and Friday. So as you can see from Thursday, we start having a lot more energy in Aries. And this is the big aspect that is happening this week. On Friday, Mars, the Moon, Uranus, and the North Node are all in Aries, and they're all very close to each other. So Mars is 7 degrees away from the North Node. So that's still, it's not really tight, but it's still close enough. And then we really have Uranus and the North Node coming into conjunction. Now, Uranus and the North Node haven't been in conjunction for 61 years. The last time they were in conjunction was in 1961 in Leo. And there was a lot of changes that occurred in the 60s. There was a lot of protests that were fought for the collective to make the changes for the collective. So here you can start me hearing the energy behind Uranus. Uranus works for the collective. Uranus works for change. Uranus works for a vision. Now, in Aries, if you've been following along for a couple of months, you'll hear me saying this is the rebel with a cause in light aspect. So check in with your why. What are your changes that you would like to make? Check in with your vision, because you are being called with the North Node there to perhaps get a little bit uncomfortable and lean into your mission more, backed up by your emotional intelligence to get your emotions and feelings on board and start really focusing down and channeling that vitality in on your vision and your mission. So we're getting really clear. We're getting really focused. It may not be one thing. I don't think I'm a purveyor of the whole one thing mission and vision, because I'm certainly not one thing. And I think diversity is inherent within the cosmos, as we've seen from the pictures that came out last week from the James Webb Telescope, that we are very diverse. But if we really want to come together, and there's an opportunity to come together now to really start to use all our collective energy and our vitality to bring the changes that we wish to see and be into the world. So our visions need to be bigger than us. Our missions need to be bigger than us, to start to burn down some of the barriers for us to change things, because things need to change. It's quite clear things need to change. So there's really a strong energy on looking at your vision and your mission. What changes do you want to see? How is your nervous system? How is your emotional intelligence? And where do you want to direct that vital energy and focus to bring about these changes? And then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you see the North Node and Uranus come into a much closer conjunction. The moon moves on. And really, this is really asking you to have a look at what it is that you would like to do this lifetime. What fuels you? What changes do you want to see? What fires you up? This is your sacred flame energy. What really fires you up? What annoys you about society at the moment? What do you get ranty about? They're the things that are likely to drive you on your mission and your vision. And I do feel like those statements, as we get closer and closer to them, they get simpler and simpler, much easier to remember, not so complicated. And in Aries, with Mars nearby, it's focused. So that is your opportunity this week, and in particular this weekend, is to sit with your mission. Let it speak to you. Sit with your vision. Let it speak to you. Sit with your vital energy and your sacred flame, which sits in your solar plexus, and let it speak to you. You have the power to see, hear, feel, and know the correct direction for you to go. However, I have a special opportunity this week. If you would like support with your vision and your mission and clarity on direction, then come and join me in my Facebook group, Sidereal Stars with Kel, on Friday the 22nd at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time in my free group. I will pop the link below. We are going to harness that energy in some free celestial energy evaluations, but you need to be available to be live in the group to tune into the energy of this Aries conjunction. So it's going to be very powerful. And if you are seeking some clarity around mission, vision, and where do I channel my vital energy, or you're just seeking to feel the support of the planets and feel the support of people, like-minded people in my Facebook group, then please come and join. So that is the week of the 18th of July. And if you would like to work with me personally and jump the queue and not have to come into a free Facebook group, I offer one-on-one sessions that my step-in sessions, they're called aligned. Now, I look at your birth chart, but I also look at the concurrent transits. I find them very powerful to know what's going on for you right now as we dive into your chart to uncover your strengths and challenges this lifetime, to enable you to bring your mission and vision to life, to enable you to expand into much bigger opportunities. And most importantly, for you to be able to enjoy the journey. So if you're interested in an aligned session with me, then the link for that will be below as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will be back in here next week. Have a glorious week, and I hope to see you in my Facebook group. Bye.